for home decorating. And a good morning to you. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of the Art Lewis Show. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to meet someone about to get inducted into the National Polka Hall of Fame. He is Mark Jansen. He'll be with us. At 11 o'clock, Auburn is the subject of focus this morning. But for this hour, we're going to talk to a rather impressive young man who has stars in his eyes, I think, as he looks at something and sees possibilities. This something is an unusual piece of history for this region. It used to be the Tri-City Dragway. And the strip is still where it is, attached to the airport. But it's no longer a drag strip and hasn't been for many years. But this young man sitting before me has other ideas, and he's also using it, as you will learn about this coming weekend, for a car show. He is Micah Fleming. Micah, good morning again.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
All right, how old are you?
20.
20. So you were how old when you got this idea that you thought it'd be a good idea to rebuild and reopen Tri-City Dragway?
It was just last year, so 19 years old.
19 years old. And you didn't let anybody say no. You pushed ahead, didn't you?
Yep, and, going to continue to push, too. So
technically, all of that land is owned by the airport.
Correct.
But you have leased the portion that contains the drag strip?
So we've leased 10 acres, none of the paved area, but essentially all the areas surrounding the paved track. So it includes the tower and the concession stand as well.
So how do you cut the track out? I mean, that's the heart of it.
Well, we figured it out. So the police academy actually leases the paved
okay, so they're
area.
still using it.
Yep,
yeah.
They'll still use it throughout the year, and they have a daily lease rate, and it kind of gets into some difficulties there if we were to lease that section as well.
For now.
Yeah, yep.
For now. I say for now because, all right, let's before we talk about the auto show coming, let's get these dreams out of the way. What do you want to see happen at that piece of property? What's the ideal conclusion?
The ideal is, it reopens as a drag strip. But obviously you have to look at it realistically, too, and say, look, that's going to take millions of dollars. And it's something we look at consistently. But, it takes a lot, too, in dealing with the township and getting the zoning switched and trying to work something out with the airport as well.
As the FAA.
Yeah, yep.
They have a say in what happens on airport land.
So the goal, to keep the neighbors happy and everything, is to use it as a multi-purpose venue. I'd like to get back to drag racing there and run a reduced schedule. But, you can also host festivals out there. You can host...
yeah, it can be a land to congregate people for various activities.
Yep. So that's my goal with it. And
for now.
Yes, we'll see how far it goes.
How many people are involved with you? You have a board?
We just have a board of directors. 9 individuals on that board, and then we have another additional probably 40 or so volunteers that help us out.
I know one of the names on that board is TJ.
Correct.
Owns American Gasser.
Yep.
And it's a phenomenal individual. I'm sure he'd love to see it come back to life, too.
I think so, yeah. But, he's helped us out a lot, too, with the car show and stuff, and we appreciate him, and, he's always giving us good input, and nothing better than him.
So let's talk a little bit about this car show. This is not the first year. This will be, what, the third?
Third year.
Third year for the car show. It's grown
significantly,
immeasurably each year.
Yes.
When the first year you did it, how many cars did you get?
Well, it was Tony Svetic that did it the first year, the Eagle Scout. He had, we didn't get an official count. It was over 400.
Over 400.
And that place was packed.
And last year, you went in with 300 reservations.
Yep. And
How many cars actually showed up?
we ended up having 570.
570. 270 over what is reserved.
Yep.
So this year you're going in with how many reservations?
We have exactly 400 pre-registered.
400. By the way, when we say registrations, folks, these are cars that are going to show up, show cars that are going to show up.
So we have 400 pre-registered right now, and safe number would be probably expecting another 250.
Yeah, I would say
so.
We're going to get well over 6.
It's
one of the biggest shows around, and if you take Frankenmuth out of the picture, it's going to be one of the biggest car shows in the area.
Yeah, we are the second biggest car show in the region by day. So if we were to split Frankenmuth into 3 days, we're catching up to them too. So
let's talk about the public's involvement. The public's invited to the show, right? From when to when?
Correct. So spectators, if you have a show car too and you haven't registered, we'll be out there starting at 8 in the morning. Is when we'll start to let cars in, and then the event will go from 10 to 2.
And to which day?
It's this Saturday, August 9th. And
so for the public, a spectator, as you put it, any charge to get in?
There is a charge. We had to implement a charge due to an insane amount of space that sadly we do not have. So the spectator charge is $10, and then if you want to register a show car on the day of the show, it's $20.
It's still cheap.
Yes.
Still cheap to see hundreds and hundreds of cars, plus food trucks.
Yes.
And a certain amount of vendors.
Yeah, we should have, I think we have about 10 vendors that'll be set up. We have 5 food trucks, and thankfully this year we have a coffee truck in the morning. So I'm excited about that personally, and it's cool to come out to the property and see a piece of history that hasn't been seen by the public in almost 50 years. A lot of the individuals who come out share their stories of when they were kids and everything, and it's very cool to sit back and hear those.
And I know a lot of the old brush and everything was cleared away from the tower.
Correct.
The shell of the tower, I should say, because that's all it is. It's a shell.
Yeah. So Beerline actually came in. They did an abatement on it and gutted the tower, and then we had a couple volunteers from Corteva come in. They boarded it up for us, and then Murray Painting out of Freeland actually painted the entire tower for us.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
So that's a bit of history standing there.
Yeah, no, it looks a lot better than it has the last couple of years, and you can finally see it when you're driving in as well.
And driving in is the issue.
Correct.
Where do you go? How do you get there?
Well, first off, I'll say if you are coming to the show, I just ask that you be patient with our volunteer group. We try and get the traffic in as fast as possible.
We should point out it is single file.
Correct, yes. So it's off of Sorrel Road. The official address is 7840 Sorrel Road in Freeland, Michigan. And then the crossroad is Hospital Road.
And just so you understand, folks, that road, Sorrel Road, is not a highway.
Yes, it is not.
It's a narrow road in which, by the way, there are houses. So you're also asked to respect the fact that you're going past people's homes, particularly if you're driving one of those show cars with loud bypass. Give them a break.
Well, it was funny last year. A lot of the neighbors actually sit out on their lawns watching the show cars come in.
Yeah, they get their own view. All right, we're going to take a break and come back. We're talking to Micah Fleming. If you have memories of the old Tri-City Dragway, we'd like to hear them this morning. 989-752-6111, the number to call.
My name is Kim Harris.
Good morning, Harris. Sorry to recognize your
That's all right.
when you answered the call. Sounds a little different that way than...
Your phone is doing something funny. Your phone is giving us an issue. See if you can find a better spot to talk from.
Okay.
That's better.
All right.
Yeah, much better.
Okay. Well, I have many memories of Tri-City Dragway when it was a functioning drag strip. I helped on a friend of mine with his drag race car that he raced back in the day, early and mid-'70s. and my youngest son. 1976, the summer of 76, he was 5 years old. I believe, if my memory is correct, Shirley Muldowney, Don Garlitz were both there that night with
Wow.
their Top Fuel dragsters. There was a man that had a drag race, a Top Fuel drag race car. I think it was called Fighting Irish, out of Saginaw. I think they were there that night as well. In that time, they had to push start the Top Fuel dragsters. Nowadays, they have a starter, yeah. And we always got pit passes so we could go in and look at the cars instead of just in the general admission area. And I believe it was Don Garlitz's car was pushing past the stands, and it ignited right in front of the stands, and I was holding my 5-year-old son, who almost jumped out of my arms because when it fired up, it scared him. I almost lost control of him. But yeah, many memories of Tri-City Dragway. My younger brother raced motorcycles out there until they closed it in 1978.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Very
had a lot
good.
of good times out there.
All right,
And,
thanks.
and good
yeah.
luck. Good luck, Mr. Fleming, to reopening it as a drag strip.
Thank you, Roger.
Bye now.
Great, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. And here is Sandy in Saginaw. Sandy, you're on with Micah Fleming. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I have many memories of the drag strip. I had my own car.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, what was
And
it?
I raced a 1973 Mustang Mach 1.
Very
And
good.
There was nothing stock on it when we traded it in. I loved racing it.
Oh, that's
And-
wonderful.
There was nothing worse than seeing the reaction of some of the guys that I actually beat.
Well, but you know,
it was
Sandy,
always fun.
back
it was
then, though, back then, that was sort of a turning point in drag racing because Shirley Muldowney was out
Yeah.
there beating the pants off of a lot of people.
Yes, she was. I saw her and all those other famous drag strip
Yeah,
racers.
very
Yeah.
good. So you spent a lot of time out there.
Yeah, and we didn't live too far from there, and we were there every Saturday or Sunday or whenever they were open throughout the summer.
Very good.
And my husband couldn't drive my car; he always red lighted. he just couldn't get that green light. Just
Hot off
right.
the line.
Yep.
That's
But,
great.
It's nice to hear people talking about the old drag strip out there.
It is. It is
Yeah.
indeed.
I went by there probably late last summer out that way, and that it looked terrible, and you just didn't even know it was once a drag strip out there.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty well hidden. I mean, it's other than the entrances,
Yeah.
if you know where they are.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the
Yeah.
forest, really.
Yeah, really, it is.
Yep.
All right.
But many
Yeah.
good times, and it's just nice to hear about it.
Excellent, Sandy. Thanks.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Well, you're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye-bye now. It's a lot of stories. I mean, that strip was around for a long time. Do you know the history of it? How long it was there?
It was only there 12 years. It opened in the summer of 66 and closed in the summer of 78.
78. Yeah.
So
Let's talk to Kat in Saginaw. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. My husband and I attended on our first date the drag strip June 5th, 1975.
That was your first date, huh?
Yeah.
And you still married him, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 48 years. And we got pit passes, and we walked through and we looked at all the engines and things before the races and stuff. And we saw Don Gartlitz and Shirley Muldowney and Randy Prudhomme and everybody that was racing at that time. We were there for the night of fire when they'd shut the lights off and they'd start up the dragsters and the flames would just come out and wheelie standards. It was unbelievable. The noise, the smell of the fuel, It was fantastic. I loved it. We bet dimes on every race. There was about 10 of us, and I walked away with 2 pockets full of dimes. And the guys are like, how do you know who's going to win? And my husband says, she changes her own oil. She knows how to change a flat, but it's the sound of the car, and that's what I did. And fantastic.
And as
my
a name,
friend
you put forth a name I hadn't heard in a long time, Paul Prudhomme. I hadn't heard of Prudhomme in a long time.
Everybody that was famous back then was there. And when Shirley came up in her car, I went over to the pits. I saw her. I got to talk to her. And I was just thrilled. And I watched the Powder Puff Girls winning at like 70 miles an hour. I said, I can do that on grass.
Yeah.
We had a 70 Chevelle SS, and it was it was good.
Yep.
And we took a couple occasions to take the open headers off and do open headers around town. And if the cops were coming, we just shut it off and cruised over to the side and sat there until they left. But it was just fantastic. All my husband's friends all had cars. We waxed them every Saturday at Ojibwe Island, so they would look good when we went to the track that night.
Well, I have some good news for you.
Yeah.
The statute of limitations on your speeding and headers is up. You're good.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. No, they have to catch me first.
Oh, my goodness.
But my husband swore I'd never have a woman drive my car, and that didn't last long. Yeah, too bad.
Great
but
stories.
It was a lot of fun, and I hope it can come up to that again someday. And if it does, I will be there. There's no doubt about it. But I don't have the car anymore, unfortunately. But, I could still sit there and smell the fuel and bet. I could do it.
All right, Kat. Well, listen, that's great stories, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us, and good luck with everything on the drag strip.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
Okay, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Mike, have you heard some of these stories before?
Every time I hear a story, it's new. There's so many different perspectives. Still, I think I told you last time, I still have yet to hear one story of someone who came into the strip the right way and paid the admission. But no, there's so many stories from the racers, and that was a big part of everyone's life.
Out of curiosity, what do you estimate it would take to rebuild and open that track? Put aside the technical stuff with the FAA and all that.
Yeah, it would probably be about $11 to $13 million.
Oh, it's gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Every time you wait a year, it goes up more.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal, but
yeah, and and just so everybody understands, it's not simply obtaining the land and doing it. Because it's airport property, it comes with a whole bunch of other issues that have to be dealt with.
Yep.
So, and Mike has got his head in the game. Car show this Saturday. We'll be back. If you've got memories of Tri-City Dragway, give us a call, and we will talk more. Let me talk about automobiles from a different standpoint. I want to talk about Quick Lane Freeland and McDonald Ford. The allergy season's been terrible this year, and Quick Lane Freeland is aware of it, and they have a product called FrigiFresh that's placed in your air conditioning system, and it's designed to keep you healthy in your car. As a matter of fact, to learn more about it, here is John from Quick Lane Freeland.
FrigiFresh. Hi, John.
All right, we're back with you in studio. With me is Micah Fleming, and Micah is producing a big car show this weekend at the old Tri-City Dragway. We're looking for your memories of the old Dragway when it was open from the 60s through the late 70s. 989-752-6111, and we did have a caller ask us to go over the car show details again, which we were going to do anyway, but we might as well do it now. Car show is this Saturday.
Correct. It's Saturday, August 9th. The event will go from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and gates will probably open about 8 to 8:30 in the morning. If you're registering a show car the day of the show, it's about $20 a car. Spectator parking is $10 a car.
Is there advance registration still going on?
there is not. That closed this
That's
past week.
closed. Okay. So if you're going to bring a car now, you register the day of.
Correct. Yep.
And that'll be at the entrance as you drive in.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to try and keep everyone moving as best as possible. And, we'll have our volunteers out there at 6 in the morning to try and get people registered as well. So.
All right. So for those that don't know where the drag strip is, explain how to get there, because right now anyway, for those of you who remember the drag strip of the 70s, you don't go into it that way. Those gates are closed.
Yep. So it's on the east side of the airport. You come in on Hospital Road and then onto Sorrel Road. It's the best way I know how to describe it. I know it by memory now. So.
Yeah. And Hospital Road, take it around the airport, and you'll go up. Sorrel will be on the left side, about maybe half mile north of Freeland?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then you take a left down this road. Please be respectful of the fact there are people that live on that road. But you'll find a lot of them sitting out there in chairs waving at the cars as they go by. I remember that from the last time when I went out there with Art Noe, and people were sitting out on their lawns and looking at the cars.
Tailgate. It looks like they're tailgating out there, and they have the families over, and
yep, and the ones that probably weren't home. They probably left so they wouldn't have to
deal with the traffic.
Well, that is the one thing that was. I think it took us, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 minutes to get in.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that's a lot faster this year. With more pre-registered too, we can get a lot more cars in faster. But we always ask that you just be patient with us, and we'll do our best to get you in as fast as possible.
So, in terms of what's ahead, what the future is, obviously the property can be used as an event.
Correct.
Venue, if you will.
Yep.
You would like to see it turned into a drag strip.
I would. As I said before, it'd mostly be a half season or a shortened season.
Sure, just to have it available.
Yes.
But the reality is there are a lot of roadblocks, aren't there?
There is.
Let's not call them roadblocks. Let's call them hurdles.
Okay.
Because you can get over a hurdle. It's hard to get around a roadblock sometimes. And one of them is the federal government, because you have to deal with the FAA. They control everything that happens on airport land.
Correct. So, in our processes, we've dealt with James Canders at the airport, the director.
Yep.
He's been great
and he's
to
supportive.
us. Yeah, he's we got some things to work through, some environmental studies. We have an acoustic study to do as well, and we're kind of on the same page in understanding that, look, you gotta do these things by the book, and I may not want to do it that way, but like you said, when he's got to control the FAA and make sure the FAA is involved, that's an important step to it.
So what makes a then 19-year-old, now 20-year-old, dive headlong into this?
Too much free time, I guess. No, I just, it's always been my goal and my dream, just to restore a historic building. I love going down into downtown Saginaw and looking at all those buildings, and, I hate to see them come down. When you get someone in there with the dream, and I think that's what it starts with.
Okay. It's one thing to restore a building on a piece of property. It's another thing to try and rebuild a drag strip on a piece of airport land.
Yeah, no, and I set up the nonprofit too. My goal, benefit our community as much as possible, and I think that's something I've kind of ran with since high school, and it'd bring something to this area, and it'd be a good community space for everyone.
Where'd you go to high school?
Heritage.
Did you?
Yes.
Local boy makes good, folks. There it is. And what's Micah's future? What do you want to see for yourself?
Trying to figure that out right now. I'm in my senior year at Central, and I'm going into accounting, so we're working it out.
Wow. Well, you're going into an accounting. That's good. You're going to need that.
Yeah, no, I've already used it quite a bit, so.
All right, we're going to take one more break, come back. Again, if you have any stories about Tri-City Dragway and attending races back in the day, Give us a call, 989-752-6111. Again, this Saturday from 10 to 2, big car show at the old drag strip. Gates open at 8 o'clock.
Still undecided about where?
Flying in, like in a private airplane.
Yeah. Where you could shuttle over there or something.
Well, that's an interesting question. You wouldn't have a problem flying in and parking the airplane. The question is how you get onto the property.
Exactly.
I don't know the answer to that. That would be a question for James Canders, the airport manager.
It's time to start asking him those.
The answer might be rent a car.
Yeah, so I know Av Flight is right there. But, I think best option would probably be to get a car. I don't think any Uber or taxi is going to want to wait in those lines.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, it'd be nice if you could park on that end of the airport, or somewhere if they had the spot designated, then you could walk over to the venue. But
you wouldn't be able to, if I'm picturing it right, you probably would not be able to park your plane at that end of the airport because there's an active runway that semi-parallels the drag strip. So there's no pad to park out there. You'd probably have to park somewhere around Av Flight, and where there's parking. That's an interesting question, though. I mean, that would be nice to advertise a fly-in for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have the answer. James Canders would be the one I'd have to talk to. He's the airport director.
Okay, well, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Interesting idea, though.
All righty.
Good enough,
Thank
Steve.
you, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Good luck with that. Yep.
Thank you.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it?
I guess I've never thought of that.
I never did either. But there'd be no way to park close to the strip because there is an active runway out there. And
Yeah.
it's not going to park on that. That's for sure. So 400 cars registered, but cars that are not registered are still welcome. They have to pay when they go in on the day of.
Yep.
And food trucks, you're going to have a variety.
Yeah, we have a decent variety. I couldn't name them off the top of my head, but there's 5 or 6 of them that are coming. And
it'd be a good choice.
yeah, I know this past year everyone wanted coffee, so we have Tom's Coffee coming. I know that one right away. So
You'll be using it, I have a feeling.
I will be using it, yes.
So let me ask you this, Micah. Let's say all your dreams could come to fruition. You could actually rebuild the strip and so forth, so on. How long are we talking about? If everything fell in place, if the financing became available, if the FAA approved, if all of the local ordinances were met, how long are we talking about?
My original goal was summer of 2028, but obviously we've pushed that back probably towards 2029 or 2030 even. It's a long time in the making. It's a huge dream, and huge dreams like that take a lot.
Well, it takes a huge dreamer to have a huge dream. But I have a feeling that you're the guy that can get it done. I mean, I met a lot of 20-year-olds in my life. I've even been there. But you're very impressive. Very impressive. And anybody that I talk to always has good things to say, including James Canders. He understands it's a wish, it's a dream.
Yeah.
But he's willing to support. I mean, he will do what he can.
Yeah. No, I know I keep taking away his hunting land, though, so I don't know how much he's supporting that, but...
Oh, I think he's okay. And he's, we've been very lucky at that airport. Going back to the days of Betty Owen, who you didn't know. Her name is on the administration building, the Elizabeth B. Owen building. Betty was a phenomenal woman and a tremendous airport manager. And she was smart enough to hire an assistant manager who she knew when she was ready to retire could take over as airport manager.
Yep.
And that was Jeff Nagel. Jeff learned from Betty because he hired James.
Yeah.
Same thing in mind. When he's ready to retire, here's the guy that's going to step in, and he did.
Yeah. Well, a funny story. I went out to the track yesterday, and they're doing Operation Northern Strike or whatever up north, the Mission
Yep.
National